Hey everybody, this is Andrea Mitchell and we are so excited. Okay, so we just got back. Some of us are even still getting back today from Kona. We were on Emerald Extravaganza. Before that, for about 3 days, we're on the Destination Diamond trip, Diamond Destination trip. Either way, it's a lot of fun. And I really want to pour in as much as I can between now and July 31st into each and every single one of you because I think that every single person can get there. I want to tell you a little bit about my story and why I really believe that everybody can get there because I think it's key. So I was 3 years ago, right now, a customer. So if you have a customer right now or somebody that you want on your team, I want you to start writing down names. I want you to not stop writing down names the whole time we're talking, because really what we're talking about today is how you're going to get to Maui, and you don't get to Maui without people and new people. And so I was just a customer. Roz was just giving me, information. We were really at the point now where I had already seen some results on the product, and we were starting to give Ella the products and really starting to look for results. And I was still kind of in that I really don't want to do an MLM kind of thing. And I signed up November 30th, and I went Emerald by the end of April. So my journey is rare, and it is not the norm, but it is possible. And I want to give you some really concrete tips on how I got started. But before I tell you what I did, because my journey is a little strange, I want to give you some practical things from other ambassadors, other jewels that have just come back, that were in Kona with me, but were in your same shoes, a year ago. Today we have Holly Deavers, who was senior gold this time last year, and we have Erin, who was senior gold this time last year. And I want to tell you, I kind of wrote down where everybody was, all the jewels that just went on the trip. We had three jewels that were gold this time last year. We had, I think, 5 that were senior gold this time last year, a couple of ruby, senior ruby. So wherever you are on your journey, whether you're like me and you're just getting started, or you haven't even gone silver yet, or whether you're a gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, all of these ranks have the possibility to hit Maui next year. If you, for even a second, feel like you can't hit it, you need to switch some things around. You need to change some mindsets, because what we really need to remember is that it's possible for everyone. So what we do is simple. It is not easy. It does not come easy to everyone. And some of y'all that I've seen on this call have been with us for 2 years, and so it's not easy, but it is simple. What we do day in, day out, sharing, reaching out, training, those are all simple tasks. They just require some mindset and some focus. One thing that was so interesting yesterday, if you haven't read through what people feel like is holding them back. I kind of thought when I wrote it that people were going to say, I'm going to give up TV, I'm going to give up reading, I'm going to give up, maybe, being in a soccer team this year, or, there's different things that people are involved in, and they're all good things. So don't get me wrong that TV's not bad and books aren't bad, obviously, and, athletics aren't bad, and they're all great, but is there something that's occupying a good portion of your time that you could be spent investing here for a short period of time for long-term results? And so what I want to do is, in the next minute or two, Holly's going to get talking. I want to give her a second to get home from picking up her son, but I want y'all to know that every single person can make it. And I saw just, line after line of fear, self-doubt, self-talk, what others think about me. And we're going to cover a few of those things in these calls. But you have to decide that it's worth it to ignore all of those things and go for it. Y'all, it's not just Maui. It's not just the Lexus. It's not just the income. It's the lives that are changed. If I had given up 2 years ago, when I went to Maui for the first time, there's 7 ladies that might not have been there last year, and there's 21 people that might not have been there this year. Think about what you're doing in the lives that you're affecting with whether or not you choose to go forward from here. Whether or not you choose to reach out to someone, or contact someone on your chicken list, or get back to someone, or follow up, or tell somebody about the products, is there a life you could be changing? Not just yours. It's not always about us. Is there somebody on the other side of that message that needs it? Y'all, there are people that I reached out to for 16 months that need the business but really needed the products. There are people that I reached out to for 8 months that told me no, that needed the products but really needed the business. And so I've watched it happen, that people that have told me no thank you, you're so kind, I don't want anything to do with what it is that you're doing, come back and say, okay, now I need it. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for not casting me aside when I said no the first time. And so I just want you to be writing down names, writing down, notes. I mean, I'm not kidding, y'all. Every time I'm on these calls, I'm writing notes because it never fails that somebody gives me a little nugget that I need of truth, or a name pops in my head. Every time I'm on these calls, I have notebooks after notebooks of names, which is why I've had to put them all in my little recipe box of prospects. Because it never fails. Someone new pops in my head, and I message them and say, I was on a call today, your name popped in my head, I can't go the entire day without messaging you and telling you about this incredible product or opportunity. So I'm going to turn this over to Holly Deavers. If you haven't gotten to meet Holly yourself, you are going to want to meet her if you're at Leaders Retreat or if you're at convention next year. She's a ball of fire, so much fun to be around. I got to love on her and her little girl Lexi last week when we were in Kona. Lexi had a birthday and could not have had more fun, I think, hanging with all the big girls. And so, Holly, if you are on, you're going to want to unmute. You know what? I'm going to unmute you because I think you're in the car. Oh, there you are.
Hello, guys. Yes, I just got to go pick up my son from preschool, so that was something that I have always wanted to do. It was something that I prayed for 9 years, to stay home with one of my kids. And just a little story about me. There's my little boy. Look, hold on, look. Say hello, everybody. He's not in a very good mood, so I'm so sorry about that. But I want to say that I joined Plexus in March of last year. And I wasn't kind of looking for the business side or anything like that, but I definitely decided that I needed to go into more of trying to find to be able to pay for my products. And so I started sharing with people, just like you guys did. And I found quickly that the business could be something amazing. So I went kind of fast. I went fast gold. And you think, oh, well, she went fast gold. No, I went fast gold, and then I stood still. I stopped. And so I was discouraged. This time last summer, I almost quit. I almost quit Plexus. I called Lindsay, my upline, and I was like, you know what? I don't think this is for me. I don't think I can do it. I wasn't going anywhere. I was going backward in points, and I just didn't. And she said, you know what? Yes, you can. You can. You've got to do the work. And you've got to love people, and you've got to listen. So when I started loving people, when I started listening, when I started going for the no's, when I started making no excuses, I had two jobs. I taught special ed all day, and then I came home. Well, I didn't even make it home. I went straight to the gym 4 days a week, and I taught until 7:30 or 8. We were adopting Eli at the time. And I had no time. I would literally come home at 8:30. And I could have said, you know what? I'm tired. I work 2 jobs. I have 2 kids. I'm in the middle of fighting for a child to adopt. And I could have quit, but I didn't. I turned it around and I said, you know what? No excuses. If I have to stay up an hour, if I have to get up early an hour, whatever it has to happen, I started to do it. And when you get to the point where you start making no excuses, that's when your business will change. You cannot have excuses, guys. You can make all the excuses in the world, but it's going to turn your business the wrong way. So stop with the excuses. I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it. Also, a lot of people will say, hey, I don't know enough people, or I don't have a certain market, or I don't have, people that I can contact or talk to. And I'm like, yes, you do. What are you doing? Are you hiding behind Facebook? And let me tell you what, this is not Facebook marketing. This is not Instagram marketing. This is network marketing. So what you need to do is you need to get out there and find people that need the products in the business. You need to pray for those people that need the products in the business. And then you need to go after them. If someone has a migraine and you see it on Facebook, send them a message and say, hey, I got something that might can help you. My sister hasn't had a migraine in a year. Let me tell you what she's doing. You go after it. I know that we're going to talk in a minute about an hour a day about income producing activities and things like that. But we can tell you every bit of this. This is nothing new that you're going to hear. This is not oh my gosh, I've never heard that before. This is something that if you're not doing the work, you're not going anywhere. So if you're one of the ones that are just wishing, oh, I'm wishing I could do this. I'm wishing I could be Emerald. I'm wishing I could be on that trip. Then stop wishing and start doing. And that is the best news that you will hear. Because I'm telling you right now, if I just wished I could have been there next year, if I'd made excuses, it would have never, ever happened for me. So it's not rocket science. It's not, something magical. If you're not doing at least your 5-3-1 every day, where are you going? If you're not adding your own level ones, sit there and think, how long has it been since you have added at least 3 level ones? No matter if you started this month or this is your 17th month. Every month you should add level ones. Are you trying to go out there? You're trying so hard to find that rock star. Stop trying to find that rock star and you be your own rock star. Let me tell you, don't wait on anybody else. This is not anybody else's business. This is your business. So you take responsibility for it. When you do that and do the daily work, everything will change in this whole entire company for you. Everything. And you'll be sitting on that beach in Maui next year.
Thank you so much, Holly.
Okay.
Okay, so Holly's an absolute blast. Like I told you, she's a fireball. So if you haven't gotten to know Holly, I totally suggest. Okay, next person I want to introduce to you is Erin Kane. And Erin has become a sweet friend. We are total polar opposites. If you get a chance to listen to her story, you'll know why. I want her to tell you a little bit of what makes Erin and I so different. That if you don't think you can do this because you're not like me, then listen to Erin because we can both do this and love each other and be totally different. So Erin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're up.
Okay. Like you said, I'm Erin Kane. I joined Plexus like Holly last March. Probably around, I didn't realize that we had joined around the same time like that. That's kind of funny. And we were both senior gold this time last year. And excuse me. And this time last year, I really didn't have any real desire to do anything big with the business. I was like, oh, this is great. My products are paid for. And really the whole reason I started Plexus was because I just wanted to feel better. I think that's a big part of why most of us started is just, there were, whether you deal with migraines or, different things like that. Sorry, that's not compliant. So don't maybe go share that. But, I think we all started for kind of small reasons, and like you'll hear a lot of Jules say, those reasons kind of grow, and they over time turn into something different. And mine have definitely grown and turned into something really big. I started to feel better, and now I continue because I watch all my friends who join me, and they're making car payments. They're paying for tires for their cars. They're making house payments. They're making all these big things, and even my own husband looking at making some big changes and doing some things that he's always dreamed of doing. And he's been the one who's been the primary, income guy for our family. He's worked really hard, and it's nice to give him a little bit of relief and have him start looking at some things that he wants to do. But yeah, Andrea and I are very different people. I live in Kansas, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I had about 200 friends on Facebook when I started Plexus, probably a little bit under that actually. And I'm sure Andrea had like thousands on Facebook. Kind of knows everybody. I'm not a big talker. I'm not a big people person. I care a lot about people. I'm a medical assistant. and I didn't have a huge network. I'm not someone who has, not everybody's my very best friend in the whole world. I have a very few close friends, so sharing was something that has always been stretching for me and a big challenge for me. But when you really find something that you care about and that you're passionate about, when you really care about those people, like Holly was saying, when you finally start loving and decide that you're going to love people, that just all becomes very, very natural. And I was kind of hoping that Holly was going to be the nice one and give you guys some really kind, easy things to say, because what I have to say isn't very much sweeter and kinder. It's all it's all just the reality of it. And the truth is, if you want to go to Maui, it's not just peaches and roses and rainbows and stuff. It is, like Andrea said, it is very, very simple. They're all simple things to do. But it takes work. It is hard. Nobody, fell to the top of the mountain. You have to climb. So I wanted to try to find a few things to share with you guys that were pretty simple. I mean, because they're, like we said, they're all simple. But the first thing, and I think that this is what a lot of what Holly was talking about too, is just focusing on you being your own rock star. You can't just wait for that right person to come along. You have to make things happen yourself. You have to focus on that personal growth. And one thing that we kind of learned about in the last week at Kona, one of our meetings, was doing a personal power hour, where you shut off, your phone for anything except, reaching out and doing your business activities. You basically just put your blinders on, you focus, and you do personal income producing activity for 1 solid hour. And if you were to do that for even just 4 days a week, I guarantee it would change everything for you. It would, because if you set a timer and you saw how little time you actually spend reaching out to people when you think that you're doing all of these great, I've done this, so I can tell you, I timed myself and really found out how much time I really spent actually sending a message versus like, oh, I sent a message, oh, now I'm going to go look over here and check this out, and oh, I'm going to watch this video because it popped up and it looks funny, that kind of thing. But if you focus 1 hour a day for 4 days a week, it's going to change a lot for you. If you're not adding 3 level 1s a month on average, you need to start, and that needs to be your minimum standard. You should be going silver every single month. That's just the minimum that we all need to be shooting for if you're really wanting to go to Maui and you're really wanting to work this business. Another thing that kind of that was on the plane and, thinking about things because there's not much else to do, is I thought about the way that I went silver. And I think a lot of us went silver, and you kind of, and I'm sure your upline probably shared this with you too, that you want to find a couple people, like, your sister, your mom, the closest people to you, and say, I'm starting Plexus. I'm doing this thing. I want you to come do it with me. We're going to get healthy together. We're going to do this thing together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Something, if you've got some runners on your team who maybe have been adding pretty steadily, maybe try that method, and say, look, I'm going for it, and I'm going to Maui, and I want you to do this with me. You're going to do this with me. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging, but we're going to link arms and we're going to do this together. So I want all of you to pick at least 2 level 1s to link arms with and say, we are going to do this together. We're going for it. We're going to be in Maui together. And it's going to be amazing. But really, I mean, it's a little bit different than, let's just get healthy together, because it is going to take a lot of work. It's going to be something where, they need to be aware that you're going to push them hard. You're going to push yourself hard, encourage them to do all the same things that you're doing, that power hour, reaching out and helping them to bring 2 level 1s with them, just that duplication that needs to flow from the top. And be confident in your business. Be confident in every aspect of your business. If you feel like you are not a product person, or you're not a business person, or, whatever the case may be, make yourself strong in that area. Gain confidence in that area. I know that there's a lot of jewels that I've heard say over the last, just at breakfast and different things. Oh, I'm so not a product person. I don't know anything about it. I always have to defer to so-and-so on this. make yourself strong in that area. Do some reading, dig in, learn about the products. If you feel like the business is not your thing, like that was me, I didn't feel like the business was my thing, go learn about it. You don't have to be limited by what you don't know. Go figure it out. Go learn it. Find out from, go find a couple of jewels on this team and, maybe ask them 5 questions about, if you see them as a successful ambassador, or jewels anywhere, just do the research, find out what made them successful and do those things. That's the whole thing about this business is duplication and not reinventing the wheel, but doing those simple things that have been proven to work and doing them well. And also asking, what is my advantage in this situation? Kind of a tactical thing, if you feel like instead of focusing on your weakness and focusing on, what is going wrong for you, maybe, oh, they're not messaging me back, they're whatever. What is my advantage in this situation? And finding out what you do well. What is it that I do well that I can play up here and use to my advantage? Maybe you are a talker and people, you're the kind of person that you like to sit down with your girlfriends and you like to talk a lot. So, go meet people for coffee. Go do a live video if you're comfortable with that. I am so not that person. am not comfortable doing live videos. I'm not comfortable in this situation, but I'm doing it. I am not comfortable going in and talking, and having a bunch of chatty girls, at a coffee table or, whatever, doing that kind of thing. But my strength is reaching out one-on-one with people and really finding out what makes them tick and coaching them in that way. And so I use that to my advantage a lot. I use my cold messaging. I have tuned it to my personality and to my voice and to the way that I talk to people on a daily basis. And I'm sorry, Andrew, I'm getting a little long-winded here, so I'll try to wrap it up. Again, not my personality, but you know what, you adapt. So find what works for you and use that to your advantage. You don't have to be defeated by by things that you feel are holding you back. You get over it, you do better, and you find what works for you and you do that thing. I have a lot of things that work against me in this. Seemingly, clearly they didn't hold me back, but the fact that I had 200 friends or less on Facebook when I started, that I live like 5 miles from town, that I don't have that typical personality that is just, sparkling and bubbly, and I don't just make friends with everybody. You don't have to let those things hold you back. You have to use your advantages to overcome those things. But, no excuses. So, we're going silver every month. You're focusing on adding level 1s. You're going to gain confidence and you're going to gain knowledge in product and business. The other thing is I got a little bit competitive with myself, but also like anytime Andrea or somebody would run a contest about, who can add the most level 1s, I'm like, oh no, she's not going to beat me. I'm going to add the most level 1s and I'm going to do this. It's okay to be a little bit competitive. It doesn't mean you get to compare yourself to anyone else's business, but it does mean that you can, that's also one of my things, one of my strengths, I guess. I guess it's a weakness in a lot of areas, but I'm using it as a strength because it works for me. I wasn't about to let, when I first joined, my upline sort of put me in a thread with one of my sidelines and said, you guys are about the same points. So who's gonna hit gold first? And I was like, oh, it's on. I'm going, that is absolutely up my alley. So I use that competitiveness to my advantage a little bit. But yeah, sorry, Andrea, I'm rambling. I'll send it back to you now.
Erin, you're so great. I love it. And what she doesn't tell you is that she's like a goat farmer. I don't know if that's like the correct terminology or not, but she has 2 goats. But okay, so she does more outdoors in one day than I probably do in like a month. But we also laugh because when we're getting ready for convention, she's like, can I just wear what I have? I'm like, I'm at the store going, I don't know if that's a thing. Like, do you just wear what's already in your closet? So, I also might have given her bronchitis this week. So bless her for doing this event. Yesterday was my last day of antibiotics. I think she's on her second day now. So we all kind of passed all kinds of stuff around. Okay, I'm going to give y'all some really practical things that I have written down, and that part of it goes with my story specifically, and then part of it is just everybody needs to do this all the time. So it depends out. What you post matters. It cannot all be about weight loss. It has to be about gut health. It has to be about vitamin nutritional absorption. It has to be about energy. It has to be about focus. Pick something different every day and post about it. Use the words that are on the website. They are already there for you. You do not have to know tons and tons about the scientific background of every single product, since we can't really post about that anyways. If you don't feel like you know much about the products, start with just what is on the website, and you can just go right there. If Edge does this, then your post is that Edge does this. You don't even have to be taking that product. It doesn't work if it's not something that works well for your body, but you still want to tell people what it does. If you don't have kids taking chewables because you don't have kids, you can still talk about the chewables and how, what they do and why we have them. One of the things that distracted me from ever signing up originally, and with the first person I saw post about Plexus, is the only thing they talked about was weight loss. The only thing they talked about was the pink drink. Make sure you are diversified in the 12 or 14 products that we have right now. You don't want to get pigeonholed in being a weight loss company. I remember when Becky Page called me, I was like, I can't believe you're doing an MLM for a diet. And I was like, oh, how have you missed the probiotic every time I have posted about it? Why would you think I would put Ella on a diet plan? This is a health and wellness. And so y'all, if we do not talk about that enough, people will just see before and afters. They will just see weight loss. You have got to be intentional about what you post about our products. Integrity matters. I signed up with Roz because Roz mattered to me. Roz was someone I knew I could trust. Whoever I saw doing Plexus before did not catch my attention the way Roz did. So who you are as a person will matter when people are deciding whether or not to sign up with you. Preferred customers are great. I was one for 5 months, so I think they're pretty phenomenal. But you want to have a good amount of PV and a good amount of customers. So don't pick one or the other. Don't go all ambassadors or all customers. You want a good balance. I was supposed to be a preferred customer for 5 months. I needed to kind of figure out what the products did for me, and then ended up finding out what the products did for Ella, which I never would have suspected in the beginning. So when I started, my testimony was solid. My belief was 110% the day I signed up to be an ambassador. And that was because I was a really good preferred customer. So love your preferred customers, and if people want to be customers first, embrace that and train them well as customers. Link potentials with your sidelines. So one thing that Roz did is very early on, she had me friend this girl named Celeste, who I didn't know and had never met until October sometime at the state fair. But she had me friend her, her best friend, and said, hey, I just want you to follow her on Facebook. She does all this fun stuff with Plexus. Roz was like, I'm not really there yet. Roz didn't go gold until November. So she was still silver through all of this, through me being a preferred customer. The whole time I was a preferred customer, Roz was silver. And so she had me friend Celeste so I could see what Celeste was doing. Have your friends follow me or your upline. Friend requests are going to be hard, but anybody can follow me on Facebook. All you do is click follow, and you can see every single thing I do, from my personal life to my Plexus world. The shopping spree that's coming up, Leaders Retreat, still showing lots of Kona pics. All of that stuff is going to pop up for them to see what maybe you're not doing yet, but will be doing soon. So, whether it's me or whether it's your upline, you're welcome to have them follow us. I think it's a really encouraging way to do it. Launch people on Facebook for them. So if someone joins your team, publicly announce them. Say, I'm so excited that Andrea's decided to join our team. She's been loving the products for 5 months and now is ready to start sharing about it. And it's just me with the pink drink. It doesn't have to be anything, life-changing. Or if you want to wait until they get their welcome pack and get a picture of them with their welcome pack, either you can post it for them, which is sometimes easier, or they can post it if they're just that person. That was me. I could just post my own because I was a Facebook junkie already. Give them the answers they are going to be asked. So when you tell someone, okay, now post on Facebook, prep them ahead of time that it might go a little crazy. And if you know that they're a big influencer, I did this with Becky Page. I remember specifically, I said, don't post until you can answer the questions. Do not post publicly on Facebook until you are prepared for the next 48 hours to answer, what is Plexus? What do I do? Where do I buy it? How do I sign up? And she agreed. When, that weekend was kind of over, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine if I had done that on Tuesday morning, because she was still seeing patients full time. And so make sure you're equipping them with a document that you send out. Hey, when people write me and say, what is Plexus? This is what I send them. When they write me and say, how do I sign up? This is the one sheets. Like, this is what I send them. So you're already equipping them with those responses. Post daily. I don't think there was one day between the day I signed up and the day I went Emerald that I did not post about our products. There are probably more days now that I go without posting about the products, because so much of my newsfeed is my Plexus lifestyle, that I have to be a little more strategic about my product posts. But the day I signed up, November 30th, 2013, until the day that I went Emerald, which was the last day of April of 2014, I did not go a day without posting about our products. To spoon feed them until they're ready to fly. So I kind of relate this to like baby birds. Like, you have to spoon feed them, and then every once in a while you kind of nudge them out of the nest, realize they're not ready yet, and let them like continue to spoon feed someone the basics until they're ready to fly. My next point will be the basics always trump over any other training. If you are trying to decide, how am I going to train my team? What do I need to do about coaching? All of it. Oh my goodness, go back to the basics. What we're talking about today. Make a list of 5 or 10 things that are really key that you think are important that you've learned today on this call, and that's your basics training. Write it yourself. There you go. No one handed me a training. I never saw a training PowerPoint. I made up an awful one with a few of my leaders. I know Lindsay's on this call and Becky's on this call. We had the world's longest training 3 years ago. It was over 2 hours, and it was extremely detailed. So I'd suggest 5 to 10 points and break them up. Okay, and so some things that I wrote the other night, I couldn't sleep. And so since we're all jet lagged, and I wrote a little note to myself on my phone, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, get to Emerald Extravaganza 2014 or 2017. 2017. Add 3 level 1s every month. Schedule power hour 4 to 5 days a week. Get 3 level 1s to silver every month. Pick 3 level 1s you're going to help get to Emerald Extravaganza. Do not drag anyone. If someone does not want to put the work in, do not do the work for them. You will resent them, and they will never, ever put in the effort, because they will always think you're going to do it for them. There's a difference between spoon feeding them and doing the work for them. Recruit influencers. If you do not have influencers on your list, I actually put a big giant eye lately on their little note card in my thing. Those are my influencers. Those are the people that I think have influence. Now, remember what Erin said, that not all of your influencers are going to be loud, boisterous, chatty Cathy's like me. Some of your influencers will be quiet people that just have a really good niche, tight group of friends that when they say, hey, do this, that small group of friends goes, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go find 40 people to go do that with me as well. So your influencers aren't always loud. Sometimes they're just people that have integrity that people trust. You should go get 3 new customers every month. If this month isn't a really good fire under your butt to get 3 new customers and 3 new ambassadors, I'm not sure Maui's even a big enough fire for you if $100 isn't. So if you're not doing 3 and 3 this month, if you're not finishing this month 3 and 3, I'm not sure how bad you really want Maui, because I'm going to be honest, that is going to be the key every single month to getting closer and closer there. Belief in the business and the products. I told you that my belief never has wavered in the products. It took me a while to understand the business enough to have belief, but it happened very quickly since my business went so fast. But if you don't have belief in the business or the products, message your upline, say I'm struggling with belief here. And I promise you they will pour into you as much belief as they possibly can. Reach out to 1 chicken lister each week. I know chicken listers are not easy, but if you will reach out to 1 person that you're like, oh, if I could just get Amy on my team, or if I could just get Sally on my team, she'd blow this up. And here's the funny thing, that doesn't always happen that way. You think you get this phenomenal person on your team that knows everybody and has, 4,000 friends on Facebook, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to share it with their 4,000 friends. So your chicken lister might not be your rock star. Erin made a good point of, you be your own rock star. I like the idea of a 90-day Plexus health challenge. I'm actually kind of throwing it around in my head about like October 1st through December 31st, just doing 90 days, because y'all, 30 days isn't enough. 60 days we get the money back guarantee, but it's really still not enough. 90 days really says whether or not these products will work for somebody and whether they're willing to stick with it. And if they'll stick with the products for 90 days, I have a feeling they'll probably stick with the business. I really think that's the end of my note. I really think that Erin and Holly both touched on this. It is personal effort. It's up to you. I can't make it or want it bad enough. I want 63 jewels with me next year in Maui. That's insane to even say out loud, but I typed it earlier so I can say it to y'all. 63. I want to triple what we had this year. And y'all, the only way we can do that is if you personally put in the work. I cannot put in the work for you. I can't drag you there. I want to. There are a few of you that I would drag by toenails if I could, but you have to be willing to put in the work to recruit the people that want the business. Recruiting wholesale customers is great. Recruiting people that want the business is key. There's a video going around by Whitney War, which I will put on our team page today, that really I've heard, I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but I've heard really just kind of calls out, like, do you want this or not? Are you willing to put in the work? And so Holly and Erin gave you some tips. Hopefully you got some tips from what I added. And I would love to hear, what changes in your week this week? What did you do differently this week? When I post the recordings at the end of the week, I'll probably ask, what did you do this week that was different? And how did it affect your business? Y'all, building bonuses next Friday. It's all about what you do today. It's all about what you do tomorrow. Seeds planted, seeds harvested. Erin can talk more to that than I can, but I know that each one of you can do this. It is 100% possible. Holly, Erin, and I are totally different people in totally different states and totally different networks, and we've all done it. We just wanted it bad enough. Oh, I love what Erin said about competitiveness. So really early, I think I was a senior gold, I started comparing my timeline to other jewels timelines. I asked Suzanne Clinton, Laura Clow, Ariel Post, all of these jewels that I didn't know personally. They were already emerald, sapphire, or diamond. I asked them how long it took them to get to each thing, and I had a spreadsheet. And y'all, my competition wasn't with them per se, because they had already hit these ranks. My competition was with their timeline. I wanted to hit it faster than they had. Celeste hit emerald in 4.5 months, and it took me 5, and I was really disappointed that it took me so much longer, but it's insane to even think about those timelines. But find out what motivates you. Is it Maui? Is it the Lexus? Is it, the income? Is it making 6 figures a year? Is it helping your friends get there? For me, there's been people that have been my motivation. I'm getting Julia to a point where their family has incredible income. It was a huge motivator for me. So figure out what motivates you. It might be something totally different. For me, shopping spree did it. For you, it might be something different. I have a feeling if you're on this call, there's about 100 of y'all. I have a feeling if you're on this call that Maui might be a motivation. Erin did it as a family vacation. Holly did it as a gift, a birthday gift to Lexi. She brought her along. Joe and I have done it the last 3 years, and just he and I, just our getaway. So you decide what this motivation is for you, and then you put in the work that it requires for you to get here next year. I hope y'all all have a great day.